What's going on, my trainer club? I love Pokemon Go just as much as you do, and I want to make sure that this game stays as good as possible for as long as possible. So today what we're going to look at are the top 5 reasons that I think Pokemon Go could improve in to make sure this game stays relevant for a long time. So welcome to the trainer club. Here we go! Welcome back, everybody. Let me know in the comments below, how do you feel about the state of Pokemon Go right now? Is it appeasing you? Is it mediocre? Is it challenging you? Is it something maybe you're not looking to do anymore? Because I have made some videos before, but I haven't addressed some of these issues beforehand. So let me know in the comments below for one. Number 2, the reason why I'm doing this, I am not trying to make a negative video. You know me, I'm all about constructive criticism. I want to make sure that the game stays good as long as possible. Number 1, because I absolutely love Pokemon Go outside playing as much as possible. But I figured I'd make this video to hopefully bring light to a part of the game that maybe potentially missing out on. Obviously, some of these things that I'm going to cover, you guys have already experienced and know about, but there's a couple things in here that I do believe and I've experienced in other things, such as the Halo League that I had, that really showed me what is very important for a game as far as the developer standpoint goes, their relationships, and how successful their game can be in the future. So let's get into everything we have to do all about the Pokemon Go. So before we do so, I just want to give a big shout out to Exter, which is the wallet that sponsored this video. So Exter is an amazing wallet. It is going to be RFID protected, if you guys did see my other video, and it has the ability to get you some cards, right? So all you have to do for this one is go ahead and pop this button up on the bottom and you're able to get your credit cards out. It also has a great place to have money in the clip. It's pretty condensed and thin. It's going to be great for traveling, and it also comes with a tracker. So all you have to do is say, Siri, ring my Exter, and it is going to do that for you and find your wallet wherever it is. So please check my link in the description below to check out this wallet. So now let's get into everything we have to do about this video. My intention of this video is not to criticize. If you guys have any comments or feedbacks, please use it in a constructive mannerism. I do hope that this video finds some of the Niantic employees so that they do see this and they can get some feedback from it as well. The number one thing that could be a Pokemon Go killer is going to be the bugs in the game. So oftentimes, and I've talked to some of my developer friends, including Bruce from Naperville, shout out to Bruce, really appreciate all your insight in game development and programming and server sizes and everything like that. He talked about how it's very important for games to take their game down on occasional frequency to be able to go through maintenances to make sure that their game stays up to date, that the bugs are handled, and that they are able to have double checking systems in there to handle the bugs that should be caught by that double checking system. And Pokemon Go in 4 years has only gone down, I believe, for approximately 8 hours. So this game, if you guys don't already know that, on occasion can have bugs in it. Go Battle League can have bugs. Raiding system can have bugs. We can fail out of raids. We can maybe not get into raids. When the raid expires and you're at a reheal lobby and you go back into that, you're going to die out and you're not going to be able to finish that raid. So it's quite challenging. So the number one thing that I really think that Niantic really needs to address is figuring out a way to either hire higher quality developers or to take some time, take the game down on very small occasions to be able to update this. I think that's very important for the success of the game. At this point and at the size of the game and seeing some of the bugs in there, sometimes the bugs are just like really monumental and take away from us playing the game to the highest of our potentials, which I think is kind of problematic. The number 2 thing that I think that Pokemon Go could use is listening to the community. So yes, they do make some responses. However, it doesn't seem like their number 1 interest is making sure that their player base is happy. It seems like there is some type of force that is underlying or overlying the entire game to make sure that this force is appeased. It doesn't seem as if they're listening to people and players, because I have tons of comments in my videos. Zoe does, Brandon does, Mystic7 and Brandon Tan. We have Trainer Tips, we have Pokemon Master Holly, we have all of these people out there, JT Gilly, JT Valor, that have a ton of comments in their videos that are recommending that certain things happen. So there's no shortage of things that could be recommended or gone through and sifted through and see what are the good ideas, how are we gonna recommend this for the game, how is it gonna improve the game, and start listening to the people that really play the game the most and watch videos and are competitive, because oftentimes I would say that people that watch all of our videos are probably the people that are gonna be playing the games the most and are the people that are gonna be spending the most money in Pokemon Go, especially somebody for myself where we're we're all after the tips and trying to make the game to the best of our abilities. So I want to make sure that the community is heard, that the game is not, derived around the community. Like, it doesn't have to be only based on what we talk about, but there are very valuable things that we do talk about that are really important for Pokemon Go, such as my video that we talk about the top features that Pokemon Go could use. They seem like pretty easily implementable things that, number one, would make the quality of life better, and number two, would make the player base a lot happier. And obviously, I'm here for you guys to make the game better, so that's something that I'm very interested in, which is then gonna lead us into the third topic. And the third thing that Pokemon Go, I think, could really use is an adaptation of their game for more competitive players, such as myself, such as Brandon Tan, people that really like to go out and play the game really hard. The number one thing, and I did feature it in my features video, is that there is no adaptation where in the menu maybe you could be like skip all animations, or you could do this or that. Like, it's like the game forces you, and I understand that there's some psychology behind that, where it's like the more interaction you have with the game, the more likely you are to keep playing that game. I understand the neural wiring between those two features. However, at the same time, there are hardcore players that do spend a lot of money on the game, that if the game was sped up and it wasn't so slow in certain aspects, like going through all the animations of the catch, while we have the skip animation catch trick, which is really good, but then you have like the rocket leader battles, which go slow, and the animation to get into the raids, and then the countdown timer for the raids. There's like so many things that really slow down the speed at which you can play. I think it's one of the things that really holds Pokemon Go back as far as keeping competitive players interested for the long run, because it's like, how long can you go through something that seems relatively painful for you when you're just trying to do this as much as possible? And by doing this as much as possible equals more money for Niantic. So I don't see why this would be a problem. I think it would be something that would be really implementable, that even if you don't want to or do want to, you could have a feature in the setting that you could turn that on or off and maximize that way. And the number 4 feature that I think is kind of holding us back from maximizing Pokemon Go completely, that may eventually lead to its demise, is going to be lack of reward-based play. Meaning it's based on random number generation, which is often termed as RNG. RNG basically means if you have a 1 in 450 chance to get a shiny, every single time that you have encounters with that shiny, it's going to be 1 in 450. That doesn't mean that after 450 you're going to encounter that shiny. That means every single time you encounter that, you have that random number generation, and then you have that output. So sometimes you could get 2 in a row if you happen to hit that one number out of 450. The one thing that I think Pokemon Go is really missing is earning your way towards something good. Like, you encounter 1,000 Pokemon, now your odds are 1 in 250. So there's nothing that rewards you for playing more. It's simply going out there, playing your heart out, and at that point, you are likely or not likely to still get the same shiny. Like, somebody could open their game, play one Pokemon encounter during the event, and get a shiny. Somebody else could go out there and play, catch 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Somebody like myself that has 4,000 encounters with Natu and still does not have a shiny, because there's nothing that builds on top of builds. Like when you catch a legendary, I did feature it in one of my top features that Pokemon Go could use, which was the bottle cap theory, where it's like you could catch a 98% IV, and then you could work really hard at doing specific things for a long period of time, and you could rank the IVs of that Pokemon up, even if it's just 1 or 2 things. I think stuff like that, where it's very reward based for the quality of time that you put into the game, is very important to a game, and that is what slightly lacks in Pokemon Go. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons that people do not stay long term in Pokemon Go, if you don't, is because of that specific feature. And it's RNG. It's always been a part of Pokemon. However, I do think there's space in Pokemon Go that, if you guys do want to watch my top features video, you can check it out up here where we talk about it, where you can be reward-based playing, even if it's not specifically for the shinies, but you can go after it, and it's not specifically only weighted on RNG, which is then going to lead us into our 5th thing. The 5th thing is something that's a little bit personal, so I want to go into a slight backstory about this one. I had a gaming league which was called Arena Gaming League. We did competitive Halo. Halo was a part of MLG, which was Major League Gaming. It was a competitive Halo scene. It was competition of people, 4v4s, and you guys would play for money. What happened after MLG was with Halo for a while? They dropped Halo, picked up Call of Duty. Call of Duty is now what we know of Call of Duty today. Halo is now not what we know of Halo today, because most people probably don't know too much about Halo, and there's a reason for that. So here is the reasoning behind this. So Call of Duty understood that you have to invest money in what makes the game thrive. They understood that you have to give money for prizes of events, number one. Number two, you have to make relationships with the influencers of the game. You have to, because when your game maybe takes a dip, maybe something comes out that wasn't well received from fans, if you have people that continually do that and you don't make relationships with your influencers, what happens is if a new game comes out and somebody is willing to make those relationships, you are not going to have loyal influencers to your game anymore, because that game could be better. It could be better served. There's stuff out there that could happen, and those influencers have no reason to be loyal to you. And even if at that point you're like, hey, I'll pay you now, it's like, well, this game's going to pay us more. It seems like it has a better future, and your game has become stale, and you haven't treated us well for this period of time. Let's move onwards. Same thing happened with Ninja. Ninja started off as a Halo player. Halo did not understand this concept, and Niantic is slightly lacking on this concept as well, I do believe. Ninja had no loyalty to Halo. Halo is great. It's an amazing game. They did a great job at it. However, they didn't develop the relationship. They didn't invest their money in the players that did the most work for their game. So when Fortnite eventually came out, there is no reason that Ninja had to stay with Halo. Even if they paid him now, there's no going to be break for him to come back and play Halo. It's going to be full price ticket to be able to play Halo. So in reality, Niantic does not sponsor me. So I'm just going to go out and say that. There are ways, I think, that Niantic could go about sponsoring YouTubers, not to pay them to say certain things, but to give them information earlier, to give them access. For example, a new event is coming out. I do top tips videos for events. If I was given access to what the event is going to entail early, when that event launched, I could give you guys a head start to be able to know exactly what things to look out for every single time, which would then in turn not have you guys wait. You wouldn't have to figure out what's going on. You would be able to take those things and you would be able to move forward with the event in a much timelier fashion. And since the events are time limited, it would really optimize what you guys can play as. So I think that those 5 things, especially the last one, not just because I'm a content creator, but more along the lines of really developing and starting to make deeper relationships with people that go hard with you, including your players, your communities, all the different sub-communities out there, and your influencers. Those are the 3 underlying things that will always make or break a game in the long run. And 3 of the things that I think Pokemon Go is potentially neglecting in some regard that could really heavily make a humongous impact in their game and could really heavily make sure that their game stays long-term, as I do wish it to, because it is one of my favorite games out there. Even with the issues that are going on with it, I still absolutely love it. So if you guys have any more constructive criticisms, please comment in the comments below. Don't say it sucks. Say, hey, I think this could be improved upon in Pokemon Go. So thank you guys for being here. Likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members, everybody takes your support, subscription, and participation to the next level. I'm gonna see you guys out in the next video. Peace. I wanna take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and rating all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.